This is a Tempo 1 made by Henry Radio back in the 70s. It's also known as an FT200, a Yaesu FT200. Yaesu was the actual manufacturer. They were marketed in Japan under the Yaesu name, in the United States as Tempo 1, and in England as the Summer Camp 250, I think. Anyway, I just picked this one up. I got it on the FT200 forum. Man had put up an ad there and saying that he wanted to part it out because he couldn't get any takers to buy it. So I asked him what he wanted for it, and he said $75 plus shipping, which is a great find. These sell for, in good condition like this one is, they sell for about $150 on eBay and up as they get harder and harder to find. Well, anyway, I turned it on. It seems to be receiving well. It wouldn't transmit. It would load up, but it wouldn't transmit. And come to find out, the little plug here for the external VFO, if this plug's not in, it has to jumper 2 pins. And if you don't have it in there, then it won't transmit. It's just nothing. So I figured that out in short order. Swap this plug out with one that I have in this parts radio. This is also a Tempo 1, but this one is, as far as I'm concerned, it's a little bit beyond repair. It's got a lot of things wrong with it, and it's actually worth more to me for parts than it is as a radio. You might notice this is a white face, and this is a black face. My first radio was a Tempo 1 black face like this. I sold it about around 1999, and I was real sorry that I did because it was my first radio. I should have kept it. I only got $100 for it back then, and it would be worth a lot more to me today. Anyway, the white face, from what I understand, and there's a lot of controversy on this, the white face is supposed to be an older radio. I don't know that. I don't have any fact to back it up other than what I've heard. That you hear in the background is a train. We get a train through here about every 15 minutes, so you'll have to just put up with that for a few minutes. Anyway, what I'm going to do to this radio is, there are 2 capacitors in here, and they're known to fail. One is right here, and one is right here. The one here is a 200 microfarad, 1000 volt. The one over here is a 100 farad, 1000 volt. So when I was going to rebuild this radio, when I thought it wasn't as bad as it actually turned out to be, I replaced those caps. So now I'm going to go back in and unreplace them. As you can see, there are 2 here, and they're wired in parallel, which makes them 200 microfarad at 1000 volts, and then this other one here. I bought these caps on eBay. They were 5 for $9.50. They're kind of hard to come by, so I normally wouldn't want to spend that much for capacitors, but in this case it was a pretty good deal. So I'm going to go ahead and unsolder these, or possibly just clip them off, and put the other ones in. And then I'll check back with you. Well, I've got these caps in place now, right here and right here. I just clipped the other ones off. This is something I like to do. Whenever I'm changing a component out, such as a capacitor, I clip it off short like this. What that does is it leaves the lead, and it's, you know, with so many parts in here and you look away, it's hard to find where you were. So that way there I have a lead wire coming off, and I know right away that that's where I was working. What I did on this one here is just make an extension to keep the camera on there, Ron, to keep the to reach down to the bottom where these 2 capacitors have to ground out. So with that done, what I'm going to do now is, you can see that this radio, the covers are kind of beat up. This one I'm going to have to live with. But I have one over here from the old radio that just happens to be black. This is the one that came with this radio I'm working on. It doesn't have a handle on it. This one here is from the old radio, and other than being a little dirty, it's got a handle and it's in better shape. So I'm going to use this one. But what I have to do before I even get involved in that is wire a microphone for it. I have this this D104 that I'm going to use. I don't know what this means. I bought this on eBay. I'm going to have to take that base off and strip it down. But I want to get that D104 wired in and use that on this radio. So what I'm going to do on that is, I have the wires here, and I have to hook them up to this stereo plug. So I'll take care of that, and then put the covers on and see if this baby will fire up. Well, I'm not having a whole lot of luck wiring that D104 in. It looks like there's something wrong with the mic. I'll check it out on my oscilloscope and see what happens. But for now, I'm going to wire in the handheld, wherever it is. And one of the most important tools I use is right here, pencil. and pad. What I did here is I used the jumper to find the correct wires. And so now I'm going to write that down so when I take it apart I won't be going, what wire was that? And I'll go ahead and solder those in for this handheld. Or before I actually solder it in, I'm going to use the same wiring and see if it'll work on that D104. It should. I had both of these working on those TS520s I did a while back. And both microphones worked and they were wired the same, exactly the same. So this might work. If it doesn't, I'm going to go ahead and solder this one in just to get it running. Well, I've got the Maritime Mobile Service Net here. I'm going to give them a try and see if they can pick me up. He said his antenna is pointed toward Texas, so we'll see what happens. I did wire in the D104. It turned out to be the wiring that I thought it should be. So let's give it a shot here, see what happens.
Service network taking general check-in, over.
Whiskey 5, Romeo, Charlie, Papa.
Whiskey 5, Romeo, Charlie, Papa. Nice signal. Name and location, quiet traffic, over.
No traffic. Name here is Ron, Romeo, Oscar, November. Just got this radio. It's an old Henry Tempo 1 with a D104 mic. I assume you're copying me well. Got you 5-9 here in Abilene, Texas, over.
Ron, understand you've got a new radio with D104 mic. Ron, it sounds like you might be driving it a little bit hard. I don't know if you've got compression on or what, but certainly quite audible, and you would not have to touch it, and you could do just fine. But it does sound like you're driving it just a tad hard.
Okay, understand that. I turned the microphone down a little bit. I did have it up a little bit too high. Is that any better? Over?
Yeah, Roger, Ron. That sounds much better. Certainly moving in the right direction. You might even go a little bit farther, but it sounds noticeably better, and your rig is getting out just fine. Over.
Okay, thank you for picking me up. You're doing a great job today, considering all the junk you have going on around you. You're coming through loud and clear into Texas. Appreciate you picking me up. I'll be riding along for a little while. This is W5RCP.
Okay, Ron, 7-3, and that D104 is certainly a great mic. I operated that microphone on a Kenwood TS830S for many, many years, and I got tons of great audio reports, so it's a good setup. Take care, Ron. Good luck with the rig, and come back off, and we do appreciate the participation. This is Alpha Golf 4 Sierra India, clear with Whiskey 5, Romeo, Charlie, Papa. Maritime Mobile Service Network.
Okay, looks like it works. A lot of junk going on the radio today, so he's doing a good job. Before I close this down, I'll show you something I've been working on here, and it's another project that's in the making. These are the books that go with it. I've been really hitting the books hard. This is an oscilloscope that I have that quit working. The horizontal amp is working and the vertical output is working, so it's somewhere in the sweep generator or in the time base. And that's about as far as I got, but there'll be a video coming up on this if I ever get it fixed. Anyway, like always, appreciate you watching my vids and hope you enjoyed my Tempo 1 today.